Do you know what Talking Thrones is? A YouTube channel, just waiting for people to come along and watch it. Like a Valyrian steel sword, he's sharp and unsheathed, with videos ready to be shared. Talking Thrones isn't a bit. Talking Thrones is a ladder. Many who try to top it fail, never get to try again. The theories and predictions break them, and some are given the chance to watch, but they refuse. They cling to podcasts or other channels, but Talking Thrones is all there is.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody doing today? In this video, I want to talk about another potential wedding/alliance we could see take place during Game of Thrones Season 8. This offseason, there has been many videos about potential marriages that we could see in the upcoming seasons. So I figured I'd throw my hat in the ring and talk about a few that I wouldn't mind seeing myself. If you saw one of my previous videos, then you know I talked about the chances of Arya and Gendry getting together. But in this video, I want to talk about an old flame being reignited. Smokescreen and I actually talked about this briefly in our collab video we did together. So now I want to take the time and discuss it a little bit more, which is the relationship between Sansa Stark and Tyrion Lannister, the wolf and the lion. Now that Ramsay Bolton is dead and Sansa is back with her family, there is a chance that we could see her tie the knot once more, or retie the knot I should say. But I must warn you, there will be some spoilers in this video, so in case you didn't see the spoilers in the title, I want to give you a fair warning now. I won't really discuss any foreshadowing or book clues in this video. Basically, I'm just going to base this off of both of the characters' availability and eligibility in the show, and how likely it is that this could happen. But initially, you may be thinking, why would Sansa want to marry Tyrion? She wanted nothing to do with him in the first place. The night Tyrion was supposed to consummate the marriage, Tyrion had told Sansa that he would not do it until she wanted him to, which Sansa then replied, "What if I never want you to?" At the time, Sansa was still holding on to this dream of living a fairy tale life, of marrying a king or high lord and having little princes and princesses running around. But that dream soon faded away. Joffrey showed Sansa just how cruel this world could be, but she still had hope of one day marrying Sir Loras instead. Yes, the dashing Knight of Flowers. But that dream was also shattered when she was forced into marrying the imp, Tyrion Lannister. But if things couldn't get any worse, after Joffrey's death, she was rushed out of King's Landing and into the hands of one of the most dangerous men in Westeros, Ramsay Bolton, who later married Sansa and held her captive, which basically gave him free rein to beat and rape her whenever he pleased, and there was nothing she could really do about it at the time. But thankfully, not only did she escape, but she also played a role in defeating Ramsay to his own hounds. And trust me, not a single tear was shed for that evil prick. But I say all that to say this. Sansa's perspective on men and marriage has changed by now. That dream of living a fairy tale is and should be dead. But this doesn't mean she's never going to marry again. The Great War is coming, and alliances are going to be needed. More importantly, armies are going to be needed to win this war against the others. And what do we know about marriages in Game of Thrones? It's a great way to make alliances. Or end up dead, depending on what color the wedding is.
It's a nice day for a white wedding.
But Daenerys said it herself, right before she left Maureen. She basically said this very same thing to Daario. And what do we know about Jon? He needs men. And Jon knows better than anyone just how great the threat beyond the wall is. And Jon's first major order of business as king is going to be to make some new alliances. And we know this from leaked photos, that Jon's going to leave Winterfell pretty early during Season 7, and he's going to head down south to Dragonstone in order to meet with Daenerys and Tyrion. And this is going to be one of the most important meetings of Jon's life. He's going to need to get their help in order to win this war. Now, most people think we could see a marriage between Jon and Daenerys, but let's not forget that the marriage between Sansa and Tyrion could be just as important. Daenerys is going to want the North on her side, and who is one of her most trusted advisors at this point? The man that she just named Hand of the Queen, Tyrion motherfreaking Lannister. So I don't think it's too crazy to think that these two could end up together once again. If Jon and Daenerys do not end up together, let's say if they find out that they are related, and that makes them decide not to, or let's just say if one of them dies. Either way, this could be a way to form this strong alliance between the North and the South. Not to mention how great would it be to see Cersei's reaction when she heard the news, if Cersei would still be alive at this point. We know that Cersei hates Tyrion and Sansa, so can you imagine the look on her face if she found out that they got back together and had the biggest army behind them ready to strike her down? I would absolutely love that. But let's forget about this being a marriage for an alliance for a minute, and let's just think about how good Tyrion was to Sansa. Tyrion treated her like an absolute gentleman. Tyrion promised Sansa that he would never hurt her, and he never did. Tyrion treated Sansa and the Starks in general with the utmost respect. Tyrion was actually one of the few people in the South who was not pleased when he found out about the Red Wedding. And although Sansa definitely has some trust issues now, I'm sure she wouldn't forget the way that Tyrion had treated her. Now I'm going to save my endgame theory for Sansa for another video, but I do expect to see Tyrion as one of the final remaining characters alive when this all ends. I see Tyrion as being one of the key figures left in the show that's going to be around for this Dream of Spring. One of the few characters left that can help restore what was once destroyed. But could Sansa be one of those characters too? Could she be left with Tyrion to help rebuild after the Great War is over? Sansa might not be physically attracted to Tyrion, but after the experience she's went through, that may not be a priority anymore. Knowing that Tyrion would treat her well may trump her risking another abusive relationship with someone just because of the way that they look. I think Tyrion and Sansa getting back together in the end is very possible, and let's be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing them back together myself. If I had to pick anyone to marry Sansa at this point, it would be Tyrion. I definitely do not want to see Sansa and Jon get together. But let's look at it this way also. Jon and Tyrion didn't get along at first, but they soon came to respect each other after their time spent together at the Wall. Now I know it wasn't the exact same scenario as the book, but since we're not talking about the book, I have to go off of what we've seen on the screen. And when Tyrion left the Wall, Jon said he was sad to see him go. They were no longer trading insults at this point, but they actually addressed each other by their respectable titles. So I expect to see their relationship grow even stronger when they do meet again, and actually start working with one another when it comes to game planning against the others. So it doesn't hurt that Jon already likes Tyrion. This could play a factor into Tyrion and Sansa linking up again. Sansa Stark is still a valuable bride in so many ways, so if she does get married again, who do you see her getting with? Or who do you want to see her get with? My money would be on Tyrion in the end, but there could still be a chance that she marries Sweet Robin still. But I don't see him surviving until the end, so if that would happen, it would be another short-lived engagement for her. But there's someone I want to shout out before I go, which is Grey Area. If you haven't watched anything on her channel yet, then you are really missing out. She has some great theories with some more great ones on the way. Me and her were actually talking about Tyrion and Sansa, and Grey Area has this really cool theory about something that may happen between these two characters. Now, I'm not going to spoil her idea here, but let's just say if it does come true, it would not only be poetic as she put it, but also heartbreaking at the same time. But it was such an interesting idea, I had to let you know all about it because it may be her next video. So definitely go check out her channel, that way you can watch it when she does release it. You are not going to be disappointed, trust me. But Sansa's much older now and experienced, so I don't think Tyrion would be opposed to this. He's always been looking for love, so maybe with Sansa he can find that love. But let me know what you think though, give me your opinion on this. I also want to shout out those of you that have showed your support on Patreon. GeneUSMC, Sir Thomas, Indy Race Car Podcast, Cypher, Schuyler, James Mellar, A Dawn of Ice and Fire, Karri, Maureen, Theon Defense Squad aka Brit, and my bannerman Cal's Fookin Chickens. Thank you everyone, I'll see you down in the comment section. Bye.